If you wait till April 1st to file your application, you are going to be paying over $1,000 for the same forms, for the same exact forms that if you file today, you will only be paying $1,760. Every single form that needs a fee is having a fee adjustment. It's either the fees are going to go up, they're going to either stay the same, or they're going to go down. All right, up or down. And there's going to be a difference between forms that are able to be filed online and forms that are being filed on paper. So let's start with the first thing here, the I-90. So the I-90 is for people that already have a green card. They're applying to either renew or replace the card. If you are filing the I-90 online, the final rule says you can pay $415, right? So there's the current fees, which is what it is right now. This is what they proposed for it to be. And this is what the final fees are. So this column right here that says final fees is what we're looking at, because that's of April 1st. So if you file the I-90 online, you're paying $415. If you file it on paper, you're paying $465. Okay. For most forms, there's a $50 difference between online and paper. And USCIS did this on purpose, okay? They want you to use the online account. They want you to file the forms that are available online. So they're going to give you a $50 discount in most cases so that you will file online and not on paper. If you are trying to file to replace your I-94, you're going to pay the $560 instead of $445. So this is very important, because right now to file an I-102 to replace your I-94, the proof that you entered the US with documentation, is $444 before April 1st. After April 1st, it's going to be $560. They wanted it to be $680, but they landed at $560. Then of course the fees for the employment-based applications, which is the I-129s, are going up. Okay, every single employment-based application is either going up or it's staying the same. There's no in between, right? They're not going down, I can tell you that much, right? None of the employment-based are going down. I'm not going through those because, like I said, most of my clients are looking at filing for family members. So we're going to focus on those applications. The I-129F is the next one we're going to cover, because that is for people that want to file for their fiance, right? Your form. That's the very first form you file in the process. And right now, that form is $535. As of April 1st, it's going to be $675. Okay. Here's the thing I want you all to remember is April 1st is when the fees are going up. That means USCIS must receive your application before April 1st for you to be able to take advantage of the current fees. And then for the I-130, which is if you are a US citizen or a permanent resident and you are trying to file for your spouse, your children, your parents, your siblings, you are filing an I-130. You do not have a choice. That is the first step. Is your first form that you're filing. So with that said, the I-130, you can file it online or you can file it on paper. And if you file it online, you're going to save some money. Like I said, it's going to be a $50 difference between online and paper. For the most part, if the form can be filed online, it's going to be $50 cheaper to file it online versus to file it on paper. Again, USCIS did that on purpose. They want you to file your applications online when it is available, okay? Most of the forms are not available online yet. I'm guessing in the future, as they put the forms online, they're going to update the fees to reflect the new, that $50 discount, okay? But this is just showing the forms as they are today. I-130, you can file online. You'll be paying $625 instead of $535. If you file it on paper, you'll be paying $675 instead of $535. For the travel permit, so the travel document, I-131, those are going up and down, right? Up and down. So if you are filing the travel permit, if you never needed a biometrics, right? If you don't need biometrics, it's going to be $630. That is up from $575, right? But if you do need biometrics, it was $660, now it's $630. They're not making a difference anymore between the biometrics and non-biometrics. So the fee for the travel permit is $630. Again, it's for people asking for permission to travel outside of the US and be able to come back to the US without having an issue. There is a difference between that and the refugee travel documents. So the refugee travel documents is for refugees that do not have a passport, right? They want to be able to travel outside of the country, but typically most countries will not let you come, travel to their country without a valid passport. And if you're a refugee and you're not able to get a passport, you do not have a valid document to travel with. So a refugee travel document allows people that were granted asylum, people that entered under refugee resettlement, to be able to travel to other countries, because now they have this travel document, not just advanced parole, okay? The I-131 travel document is more of an advanced parole, whereas the refugee travel document is literally a travel document. It's in place of a passport. So because it's for refugees, the fees are lower. Some of these went down, but mostly they basically made the fees the same for if you need biometrics, or if you don't need biometrics, you're still paying the same amount. So it's really important to know the difference there and make sure that, again, you are including the correct fees. Let's talk about the green card application, the I-485. Remember, this cannot be filed online, so the difference is really going to be whether you need biometrics or not. Anyone 14 and over applying for a green card is now going to pay $1,440. The green card application fee was $1,225, so that's a $215 difference for the majority of people. For children that are under the age of 14, it's going to be $750, or it was $750, now it's going to go up to $950. That's a $200 difference. So this is for people, right, children under 14 that are filing with their parents. Their fees went up by $200. All right. So if you're including your child's green card application, you're putting it in at the same time as yours, you're paying $1,440, and your child is going to pay $950. So that is so basically, if you are filing your application and your child's application, now you're paying an extra $215. USCIS is not playing with these fees. They know what they're doing, okay? If you want to change your status, so you want to go from a non-immigrant visa to another non-immigrant visa, or you want to extend your non-immigrant visa, you will file an I-539. So the next one that I want to talk about is the adoption forms. Those are going up, okay? unfortunately, adoption is already expensive, and USCIS is like, let's make it even more expensive. So before this form right here, the supplement did not have a fee. Okay. The request for action did not have a fee. Now it has a fee. So now whoever is filing under adoption is going to have to pay more than it was before. The waiver applications are also going up. Okay. The 601 waivers is for grounds of inadmissibility. If you've had like a misrepresentation, fraud, things like that, you will most likely need an I-601 or an I-601 waiver. And it's going to go from $930 to $1,050. And if you need an I-601A waiver, this is for the US without authorization, you're going to need an I-601A waiver. And that is going from $630 to $795 if you do not need biometrics. Again, the only people that do not need biometrics are children under the age of 14 and adults over the age of 75, I believe. And the I-601A with biometrics is going from $715 to $795. Thankfully, it didn't go up to $1,105, which is what USCIS was asking for. Luckily, that is not what happened here. So we are in good shape there. And let's talk about the I-751, because you're going to pay more to remove the condition on your green card. Okay, you were paying $680. Now you're going to pay $750 to remove the condition on your green card. Okay, if you have a 2-year card, you have to file the I-751 to remove the condition, and you're going to have to pay $70 more to remove that condition. If you are applying for a work permit, the I-765, you are going to be paying more depending on if you're filing online or not. So if you're filing online, your fee is $470. If you're not filing online, your new fee is $520. Okay, $470, $520. That's just the new fees. The work permit, again, is one of those forms you can file online as long as you're paying a fee. You can file it online. But it did go up by $25 and $60. Okay. And then let's talk about naturalization, because you want to become a citizen. You want to know if you're going to pay more to become a citizen. And guess what? This is the only place USCIS is like, you know what? Let's be nice and not raise the fees on naturalization too badly, right? Too bad. So for naturalization, if you want to file online, if you want to file your citizenship application online, you're going to have to pay $710. It was $725. So you're getting a $15 discount there. But if you're going to file on paper, you're going to have to pay $760. Remember, I said online versus paper, right? If you're filing online, you're going to pay $50 less than if you're filing on paper. And that's exactly what's happening here. So naturalization, you're going to pay $710 if you file online and $760 if you file on paper. So make sure if you're filing for citizenship and you want to save yourself that extra, $50, that you are creating an online account so that you can actually file your application online. We have done this for our clients for citizenship that want to file it online. We do this with them all the time. We help them set up the account so that they are ready to sign once we complete the forms. If you're filing for your children to automatically become citizens, that's the N600. You are going to be paying $165 more if you file online, or $215 more if you file on paper. Okay, these are the fees. Okay. Now let's talk about what I want to talk about now is how does this actually affect you if you're trying to file then and you're ready to file your green card application. What are the steps you need to take? Because you need to know, what do you need to do here? How much are you going to have to pay, right? How much are you going to have to pay is the biggest question that people ask me. Remember, you will have to pay the I-130 fee, the I-485 fee. If you want a travel permit, you have to pay for the travel permit. If you want a work permit, you have to pay for the work permit. Filing a green card application, the I-485, with the work permit, you only have to pay half of the work permit fees. So instead of paying, the full work permit fees, you will now be able to pay $235 if you file it online, or $260 if you file it on paper. So if you decide to file just the I-130 and just the I-485, you're going to pay $2,065 if you choose to file the I-130 online. If you choose to file everything on paper, you'll be paying $2,115. Now you add on your work permit. So the work permit, if you file it online, is going to be an additional $235. If you file it on paper, an additional $260. So that brings the online filing side of the column to $2,300. And that is for the I-130, the I-485, and the I-765. And that $2,300, $2,300 is only if you file the I-130 and the I-765 online and the I-485 on paper. If you choose to file everything on paper, you're going to be paying $75 more, so it'll be $2,375. If you want to include the travel permit, which most people want to do because they want to be able to travel as soon as possible, and they include the travel permit. The travel permit fee is $630, whether you file it with a green card application or not. Okay, the USCIS is now giving a discount for the travel permit. They're only giving a discount for the work authorization. So the work authorization, you get a 50% discount if you have a green card application pending, or if you're filing it with a green card application. The travel permit, you're paying the full fees, whether you're filing it with a green card application or you have a green card application pending. So you're going to have to pay more if you're doing all of those applications together. So let's say file the green card application on paper and the travel permit on paper. Your total fees is going to be $2,930. And if you choose to file everything on paper, your total fees is going to be $3,005. Okay, so you're either paying $2,930 for all these forms, or you're paying $3,005 for the forms. Now let's talk about the difference. Okay, right now, to file a green card application with a travel permit, with a work permit, right? So you're filing the I-130, the I-485, the I-765, the I-131. If you're filing all of those together today, you are paying $1,760. Okay, if you file it on April 1st or after that, you're going to be paying either $2,930 or $3,005. So that's either a $1,170 increase or a $1,245 increase. If you wait till April 1st to file your application, you are going to be paying over $1,000 for the same forms, for the same exact forms that if you file today, you will only be paying $1,760. I want people to understand that you are going to have to pay more the longer you wait. I think one of the first videos I did this year was telling people why right now is the best time to file their green card applications. And I think people weren't understanding. And I mentioned that the fees are going to go up, and probably around April we'll know. Well, USCIS said, well, we're going to tell you right now and make it go into effect April 1st. So here we are. These fees are going to go into effect April 1st. So instead of paying $1,760, as of April 1st, you'll be paying $1,000 more than $1,000 on top of that. So you really want to make sure that you are doing this now and not waiting. If you would like to schedule a strategy session with me to see if you qualify for a green card or if a family member qualifies, and what the next steps are going to be, and try to get your applications in before April 1st, feel free to do that by going to my website, lillylegal.com, or calling my office at 508-443-1788.